Hey everyone, welcome to Better Odds. We're going to get you into Week 11 action for the NFL season. I'm your host, Adam. I'm joined by Michael. We're running a little two-man skeleton crew today. Michael, how you
Fired
doing?
everybody else. They're gone.
Yeah, we had to cut costs somewhere along the way.
Too many bad picks last week. Had to get them gone.
Without sponsorship, we can't pay all the bills. Too many mouths to feed. No, seriously though, they all of them have either prior engagements or sicknesses running through their family. So y'all be thinking about them. They'll be with us hopefully next week. We got a big Thanksgiving. Well, I would like to say a big Thanksgiving show. We still have not yet decided whether we're going to go live or what day we're going to be on there, but we're going to try to work some things out next week. But for this week, me and Michael are going to do the best we can to navigate you through to Week 11. And before we go to Week 11, Week 10, any thoughts, any things we viewed, Michael, from last week that pointed out that struck you?
Last week seemed like a reset week. I mean, I don't think very many of those games went like anybody thought they would. There's quite a few upsets, quite a few teams not show up. I think this week we'll see some teams get back kind of on track.
We had six.
Is that how many games?
We had 6 walk-off field goals last week. First time ever in the history of the NFL.
That's crazy.
1 week. Yep. 6. 5 on Sunday, and then you got the Monday night. I missed a field goal, but 12 men on the field. Let's get another one. Let's get a retry.
I can't believe teams make that mistake. Like I can understand like in like college or like little league type stuff, but I don't understand how NFL teams make mistakes like that.
So it was exciting. It may not have been great for your heart as far as betting was concerned because there was a lot of bad plays and a lot of bad picks by us, and I'm sure by many out there, because there were things that should have happened that didn't happen, things that didn't happen that should have happened. Yep, I said that right.
I mean, you said it right. I agree. Like, I don't think anybody has like the Texans beating the Bengals last week or Buffalo getting beat by the Broncos. Like, just a weird week. Heck, even the Cardinals getting a win over Atlanta. Like,
with Kyler back, I mean, you'd think he'd take a little bit of time to get up to speed and everything like that, for sure. But
he wasn't really at speed. The Falcons just didn't want to win that game. He was all right, but he wasn't like the reason they lost.
Let us go ahead and jump into this week's action. We got a Thursday night game, big one for a division. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Baltimore's 3.5-point favorites at home. Total is 46. Both teams coming off a loss. Michael, how do you see this playing out? You got anything on it?
I think this is probably going to be one of the best Thursday night games we've had in a very long time, which isn't really saying a whole lot considering the slate we usually get on Thursday. Yes. But this game should be really good. I'm thinking I don't really like playing anything Baltimore spread-wise because they always do the opposite of what I would think they'd do. But I like a Jamar Chase touchdown in this game. Like it seems like a game where it's going to be the stars that show up for these teams. So it's going to be the Jamar Chases, the Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson. Like it's going to be those guys. I like Chase to get a touchdown in this matchup. They both coming off a loss. So, I mean, they're both going to be kind of reeling.
Yeah, I agree. The funny thing about this game is I think everybody was talking about how good, Baltimore's offense can be, with Lamar running it, and everything like that and having some more weapons. Zay Flowers still doesn't look that good. He's still got he's still rookie. He's still got chances to drop the ball, though. Mark Andrews has come on here recently. The running game is still stout, even without Lamar. Lamar did not get a touchdown for a second straight game, so he's probably due, but yet can you trust it? I mean, anybody in that backfield can run the ball in, Cincinnati's defense has gotten better. Cincinnati has gotten better as a whole. Took a step back, though, last week. So against the Texans. Baltimore defensively, they look good early in the season, but they've allowed a lot of points in the last few games. So And like I said, the Bengals they allowed 30 last week to C.J. Stroud and the Texans, which might be one of the top. Can I say it? 5 or 6 teams in the league right now, currently. The way they're playing.
I think CJ Stroud is playing like a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league already. Like,
yeah,
he's definitely breaking the Ohio State moniker of those guys can't be a quarterback in the NFL. I mean, like CJ Stroud's looked every bit the real deal, which I always kind of felt he would because he wasn't really the mold of the typical Ohio State quarterback. Like he didn't really rely on his running ability at Ohio State.
No.
He was a pocket passer, and that was kind of the difference between him and a lot of the guys before him who, yeah, they look good passing the ball, but I think their running abilities really made it easier to pass because teams had to respect the run on them. So I'm happy for CJ Stroud. He looks good, and I don't see why he can't lead that team to the playoffs. Maybe as a wild card.
Yeah, that division is kind of a wide open thing right now, and we don't really trust what Jacksonville can do necessarily yet, but we'll get into them momentarily here. To finish out this Cincinnati-Baltimore game, like I said, winner of this game gets a leg up in the division. Cincinnati is still, I think they're like, are they 2 games back or a game and a half back of Baltimore? They both got lost and lost calls. So.
Yeah, because they're 5-4. Ravens are 7-3. But man, this kind of feels like a must-win for the Bengals. I mean, to put you at 5-5 if you lose this game this late in the season, I mean, it's not too deep of a hole for a team like that to get out of, but it's not really the hole you want to play from.
But you got to look at the AFC. I mean, after Monday night, I know Sunday night I was looking at it, but I think the separation between the 13th team in the league and third place in the league was 2 games.
No, you're right.
It was a 2-game differential between 13th. Remember, there's only 15 in each league. 13 and 2 or 3. There was only 2 games separation.
So you're right.
Thing is
on the teams that 6-5 wins.
So volatile. There's like a handful at 6-5, 5-5. Don't even count this credit to 4-6 teams or 4-5 teams. I don't know, but.
Well, I'm gonna count out the Broncos probably, but I mean,
I don't know if we can.
Even the Raiders at 5-5 to me feel like an unimaginable team to make it to the playoffs. Like I don't know how they have 5 wins.
Do not deny that Raider. Once I got rid of Josh McDaniels, different beast, different animal there. They're going to get some tests here soon though. So. In the form of Miami later for the Raiders this week, but we'll get that game momentarily as well. So let's put a button and a bow on this Ravens-Bengals game. Like you said, Bengals kind of feels like a must-win, especially with as tight as the AFC is. They need to win that division. The person that wins this, I mean, there could. Let's be honest. All 4 teams could come out of this division and then in the playoffs. They could. It could happen. But they're going to beat each other up so much in the last half of this season that I probably only say 2 will make it. And Baltimore, the winner of this game, has the advantage and a big leg up on the rest of the division. And if Baltimore can win it, they really feel pretty good about themselves.
Yeah.
So let us move on. And I don't know if we really came up with any bets except for that Ja'Marr Chase touchdown, but it's going to be an entertaining game.
Yeah, the more I look at it, the spread's -3.5 Baltimore right now. I'd probably take the Bengals +3.5. I mean, it feels like a field goal type game, one way or the other. I mean, to get +3.5 on Bengals, I think that's a pretty solid bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on to the next one.
On to the next. And by the way, if you're on FanDuel, you do have a no sweat bet tomorrow for that game. They're giving out no sweat bets for all Thursday night games. What you can risk is different depending on how much you've wagered in the past there. So go on FanDuel if you want to play this game. Go on there and get yourself a bet. It's a 3-leg parlay is what you got to do. But they give you everything back that they offer you up to whatever they offer in promotional credits. So no risk, really, go have fun with this game. go try to hit big if you want to. Like get a little wild and crazy with it if you choose. That because that money, like I said, it's going to be right back there. For you for Sunday. We're going to move to Sunday. Speaking of, and we're going to go to a team that lost a heartbreaker last week. In the LA Chargers, they are traveling to Lambeau, playing Green Bay. Green Bay is +3 at home. Total is 43.5. Green Bay is not looking good at all here lately for most of the season. Michael, you got anything on this game?
Man, I just don't like the Chargers at all anymore. Like, I don't feel like you can trust them. I know the Packers haven't looked good, but being at home, Packers have traditionally been a pretty solid team at home. So, I would probably stay away from this game in any sort of spread. Even on the over-under it being 43.5, like it seems like one of those games where maybe the Chargers could put on some points and go over. Then it also seems like one of those games where they'd play down to the Packers and go under. I don't really love anything about this game because both teams are just so inconsistent. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Chargers, they should put up points. They don't do very good on the road, though, as far as points are concerned. Green Bay's defense is not really it's not good. There's just no other way to put it. It's not good.
There's their offense is the problem.
Yeah, neither is their offense. But Kenny Pickett can put up, and the Steelers can put up what they put up 20, 23. Yeah, and win 23-19. I mean, last week. And it's just it's a dumpster fire in Green Bay as far as I'm concerned, as far as winning any games and everything like that. I don't think Jordan Love's the problem. I just don't think he's ready yet. I don't think he's had enough reps, enough time with that offense, and those receivers aren't world-class receivers. They're 2 years into their existence, both Dobbs and Watson. They're not ready yet either. And he can't make them be ready because he's not ready himself. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think realistically they're going to move on from Love. They'll probably give him next year as a bridge year. I'm sure they'll draft a quarterback first or second round this year. I think they're probably already settled on Love's not the future, but they'll give maybe a bridge year next year, I think, to him since they've already got him, I think, under contract. They did some weird signing where they added a year on and picked up his 5th-year option or something. But
I'm almost thinking give him Marvin Harrison and see what happens.
They're not going to be that bad.
You don't think they're going to be there?
No, because I think you're going to need a top 4 pick to get Marvin Harrison.
How many wins do the Packers have this year?
They got 3. They're 3-6, but they're ahead of the Bears. The Bears, Panthers pick. The Giants.
The Bears.
Yeah, the Cardinals. Like, if you're the Bears and you have 2 of the top 3 picks at this point, it's quarterback that you prefer, whether it be Drake May or Caleb Williams, which I would have never thought that they'd be as close as they have become. But I think
somebody's put on the
Caleb Williams has shown some there's some
backing up
question marks there. I think I'm not really worried about like his comments about wanting ownership and stuff like that. No, I'm more worried that USC is just going to make him bad because he's having to play catch up every game because they don't play any defense. So
Caleb Williams going to play one more year, I think, too. Now,
you think just so he doesn't have to go to Bears?
So. No, I don't think it's even to avoid now. I think it's because he's making enough, and his year has been so bad this year. He wants to prove himself that he is not that guy. He is not, because they're not. Guess what? There's no Pac-12 anymore. They get to go to the USC's going to the Big Ten next year.
That's even worse for him.
But he wants a proving ground.
No, he doesn't. He'll still go. I mean, at worst, he falls to 2 in this draft. I still think he goes 1. I'm not in love with a quarterback that can't win games that he should win in college, which I feel like Drake May is kind of that.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of feels he's got more games under his belt, but he kind of feels a little Mitch Trubisky to me. And I don't know if you're the Bears if you want to roll down that path again.
Are you saying that because they came from the same college?
No, I just think I'm a big believer in picking quarterbacks that have the pedigree of winning. UNC seems to have two just mind-boggling losses every year, 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what they lose to? They lose to Tech, or they lost to they lose to Miami. They've lost some head scratchers this year, and it's
I don't think they lost.
It was somebody that like you were like, wow, that never should have happened. And to me, big time quarterbacks don't let that happen, no matter what. So
yeah, that's accurate.
I mean, that's.
But to get us back on track again.
Yeah, where
to this
at?
Green Bay. Yeah, we're at Green Bay in Los Angeles. Herbert also put up yards and points. The defense is garbage as well over in LA as well. And again, they're hit or miss. They're hot or cold. They don't seem to be finding their footing. I mean, we're waiting. Chargers missed the playoffs this year. I mean, I've been saying this for probably 2 or 3 years now. Brandon Staley, I think we've all been saying it. Brandon Staley should be fired after the end of the season if they don't.
I thought he was going to get fired last year.
We did, yeah. Well, everybody did. A lot of people.
They've spent too much money and have way too many big name players to be missing the playoffs. Correct,
absolutely. So, with this game, as far as betting concerns, I'm probably going to stay away from it myself. I don't find any joy in this game or anything I could really, get into. So, moving on to a game I like a little bit as far as betting perspective. Titans, Jaguars. Jaguars are -7. Their total is 40.5. Michael, you got anything on this game?
I feel like the Titans are going to keep it within the spread. It seems like this division loves to play close games regardless of who's supposed to be good and bad. Like, they trade games all the time. It doesn't really seem to matter what the other team's done all year. So, I mean, at -7, Jacksonville, I mean, I think it's possible the Titans keep it close enough. I don't really love anything the Titans do. I think Levis kind of came back to earth after his first game. He's not been very successful the last 2. But, man, the Jaguars look bad this past week. I think they'll see a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. I think this game will probably stay closer than people would think. I probably like the under in this game. I mean, it's 39.5. I don't think the Titans are going to score that much. They'll probably hold the Jaguars to 23-ish. They might score 14. So I like the under on this game overall. What about you?
Well, I will say my brother was on this game last week, the 49ers-Jaguars game, and he came in with his locks. He's like, I'm locking in Christian McCaffrey touchdown anytime and Travis Etienne anytime touchdown. Well, guess what? McCaffrey missed for the first time in a year.
17 games.
Etienne, nobody from Jacksonville got in the end zone.
That's what I said.
So I am going to double down for him since he's not here, and I'm going to go with Etienne anytime touchdown, not once, but twice. 2 touchdowns for Etienne, 2-touchdown game, and Jaguars get back right. And I want to say 7 on that spread, but I will tease it down to 4.5 and take Jacksonville by 4.5.
I think that's safe. I mean, I'm telling you, man, the AFC East always just plays. Or are they the South?
It's the South.
Yeah, South. Sorry.
They do. They play each other. Like I said, it's every division for the most part. I mean, the AFC North is the same way. They're going to play each other tight, back, forth, sideways, up, down. You don't know which team's going to win in this game. Like I said, we don't know Thursday night how that game's going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's why I don't like big spreads in divisional games. It doesn't. Which I know 7's not the biggest spread, but
Jacksonville's mad. They're not happy with what happened to them. They got exposed. I say exposed. They didn't necessarily get exposed. It's just 49ers needed a get-right game, and they chose to take it out on Jacksonville, which was a team that looked like they could actually go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I talked about it last week on the show. Are we seeing the Super Bowl, preview? No, we weren't. I mean, if we were, it's a blowout. So,
yeah, I do feel like we're starting to see a little Trevor Lawrence regression, though. I don't know. He isn't. He hasn't seemed as special this year. He hadn't really picked up, it doesn't seem like, from last year. I mean, he's only got, 9 touchdowns, 6 picks? I mean, one touchdown a game is not exactly something to write home about.
It's better than one pick a game. Again, we'll get to that later.
So he throws touchdowns too.
Yes, he does. Okay, we're going to move on to the Raiders versus the Dolphins. Dolphins minus 12.5. Big spread on this game, but warranted because Miami plays and scores a lot of points. Total is 46.5. Your thoughts on this game, Michael?
I'd probably take the over on this game. I mean, even at 46.5, it seems like a lot, but Dolphins don't exactly play defense, and I think they will score a ton. So I'm sure they'll let the Raiders score a few here and there. I like the over. I like probably like the old Tyreek Hill touchdown too. I mean, you could. This is probably one of those Miami games where you could just pick the entire starting lineup, go Waddle, Tyreek, go shoot, Tua might run one. But no, I like Tyreek to get a touchdown here, and I think he kind of gets back on track with some yardage. I know last week he had a down game for him, but or I guess the week before since they were on bye. But yeah, coming off a bye week, man, it seems like Miami's just going to throttle him. I probably wouldn't bet on any spread here. I mean, it's 13.5 is a lot. I mean, you might tease it down to like 9.5, but man, 13.5 is a lot of points. But at the same time, it's the Raiders, so it's like maybe.
I feel like I'm one of the few people that, like I said, I stuck out there on a limb a few weeks ago and talked about how the Raiders had a very viable opportunity to make the playoffs if they got rid of Josh McDaniels. And they did that. So I'm sticking to my guns, and they have a very viable opportunity, especially if you look at the records in the AFC, how tight everything is within 2 games from 3rd to 13th. I really think they have a great chance of doing things. They have a decently formidable schedule coming up, but they have games that they can win. Division games, I think still have the Chargers one more time. I think they have Denver one more time, and KC. They may have won them twice. I'm not totally for sure, but all those games are they can win those games. Even KC, because KC is vulnerable at times too. Miami's vulnerable to good teams with winning records. Well, the Raiders don't have a winning record. They're a 500 record. So they're at home. They scored the most points at home. Coming off a bye, they're healthy. A-Chain's coming back soon. He may even come back this week. If that happens, they're a whole nother world with him. Raiders defense though, getting better and better, and they actually the Raiders defense has been the focal point all year of how good this team is, or how this team has stayed afloat. Put it that way. This offense, it's not going to score many points for Aiden O'Connell. It's just not. It's probably not going to score enough. I know it's not going to score enough to win this game. But I think this defense holds Miami down to fewer points than they have scored at home all year. I don't know their average. What is their average at home? Can you pull it? You have that pulled up quickly or no? If you can't, it's okay.
I don't. No, I don't have that.
No,
Randy's got
it's fine. Stats like that, yeah, yeah. But yeah. I will state that I will put down the Raiders cover. They the 12.5. So I would put money on that. I think this game stays within a touchdown and a field goal. I don't think that Miami scores enough points. I'm looking at 21-10. I know that's saying a lot. I mean, if I'm doing that, I guess I could take the under as well. But
looking at their home games, I mean, other than that Chiefs loss where they only scored 14 the previous week, I mean, they've not scored less than 31 at home in any other game. Yeah, there's no point in me giving you the average because the Broncos game really inflates the average.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a 70 point game at home, so it's a little skewed. But
I mean, we're saying they'll average about 33 a game at home. Okay, yeah, but that's going to be held down considerably this week. Again, I don't think the Raiders can score enough points to make it competitive necessarily. but I think they can. If you had to twist my arm or told me I had to get this bet right, I'd go 14.5 plus 14.5 for Raiders. But I'm gonna lay some money on plus 12.5. I'm gonna take a chance with it because it feels. I got some faith in that, and Dameon Pierce, the way he's running this team, the way he's carried himself, he seems to be. Well, I know he's lit a fire under them. They come out with some good game plans. They came out with wanting to get Devontae the ball last week early and often, and they did that for a while. Josh Jacobs run him in the fourth quarter like he would Derrick Henry almost, wear down that defense. They did that. Yeah, that looked just like a Derrick Henry fourth quarter basically. And, they kind of, come from the same pedigree of Alabama football. So just, they ran the ball and it was good. It was fun to watch. I mean, yes, I know the Jets are horrible. I know offensively. And but they have a good defense, and their defense couldn't hold the Raiders. So that's my take on that game. So we shall move on unless you got anything else.
Nah, I'm good on that one.
Okay, we might want to pass this game up, but I'll talk about it anyway. Dallas at Carolina. Dallas are 10.5-point favorites. Total is 41.5.
You just put me out of my misery on this. Honestly, I don't see how Dallas doesn't cover the spread. I mean, like I've watched.
I don't either.
I've watched enough Panthers for me to know that. I mean, like we'll probably play better defensively than people anticipate. However, we can't score to save our lives.
So 10-day break. Maybe you should figure some things out.
I know, but I mean, like even if Dallas scores 27 in this game, it's possible they still cover that spread. Like. Maybe we score 13. I mean, I think we've broken 20 like twice this year. Like it's not been good. One of those was with Andy Dalton quarterbacking. But look, I'm still a Bryce believer. I think we have nothing helping him on that team. The O-line's terrible. The run game can't get going. Other than Adam Thielen out there, we have nothing else. I just don't see how the Cowboys don't steamroll us, though. I mean, we've got so many injuries on the defense. They've got a ton of pass rushers. If anything, they've got Micah Parsons alone, who would probably wreck us. So
it's gonna be like last week. It's gonna be like last week. I would take this all the way up from what it is right now up to 20.5 points.
Yeah, if you want to go bold, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, this is either going to be one that was way closer than people thought for no reason, or it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath. Like
Randy has done some things in the past. I think that's more with college basketball or NBA or something like that, where if he knew a team was going to beat a team by so many, or he felt like that way, he would tear it up, minus this, minus single bets all across, and you're just every time they go up, so if you have it bet down at 10.5. And you put it on there, but you put always 20. That's 10 bets, and you cash them all. They bet win by 20.5. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad decision in that game. Panthers are lifeless this year, man. Like I hope we get some players in the offseason, free agents to kind of improve this team. But man, I just hadn't seen a lot of hope on offense at least.
And I would say, just like last week, Randy said, take Dallas at over 26.5. Their total. Let's see if I got a Cowboys total 26.5 again. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead. I mean, there's no reason not to. Go ahead and take it.
I mean, what did they score last week? Like 40, 39?
40, 45.
CeeDee Lamb had a game because I've got him in like multiple leagues, and every time I look, he's got like 40 points.
CeeDee and Dak went off for like almost 90 points.
Hell, I think he even ran one in last week.
Yeah, he did. He had a rushing touchdown, so it was a lot. It was a lot of points.
Yeah, but I don't think there's really anything else to play in that game. I mean, it's
49. Yeah, they scored 49.
Whew.
And that was against a team that's got a better defense statistically.
Did they play Giants?
Giants.
I mean, our points per game are skewed because our offense is so bad, but our defense yards per game is actually, I think, top 10, surprisingly.
Okay. Better at home?
But I don't think we're better anywhere. We are what we are. I mean, we're 1-8. We're not very good we are 1-3 at home. I mean, so I guess we're slightly better at home.
That game will be that game will be at least viewed on Red Zone, except for every cutaway for every Dallas Cowboy touchdown.
We'll say this though: I think we have the highest strength of schedule this year, which is not helping us.
No,
but it gets a lot easier after this game.
The Bills have the second highest, or no, the Bills have the top number one strength of schedule, remaining strength of schedule. So we'll get to those guys once again a little bit later in this show. Cardinals at Texans. 4.5-point favorites for the Texans. Total is 48.5. This game has all the makings of being entertaining with Kyler back now. If there's no Kyler, this game is not even close. I think CJ keeps rolling. I think he does anyway, but Michael, you got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of defense played in this game. I like Kyler to get a rushing touchdown. Second game back. I think he'll get his legs under him a little bit more. Seems like a game where he'll have a little more opportunity for that. Texans aren't exactly great defensively. I don't necessarily feel like the Texans do anything great, but they just seem like an overall solid team. Like their offense will disappear here and there for stretches, but I mean, I guess that's about anybody's. Yeah, I'd like to see Kyler get a touchdown here. I'd probably take a swing at that. Houston -5. I would say you're probably safe to do that. They're at Houston. Cardinals are still probably trying to figure out some things with Kyler back, and Call of Duty did come back out a couple weeks ago, so I'm sure Kyler's not exactly.
I heard it was trash. So,
well, he's probably still playing it. I like Houston to cover them. What do you have? I have it at -5 right now.
I got it -4.5.
Yeah, if I get -4.5, yeah, definitely take it.
I'm going the other side. I'm taking the over 48.5. Both these teams are going to score. One team's going. The winner's going to be in the 30s. So, and both these teams are going to put up points. I believe personally.
I think I could see that. It's a lot of points. So,
40. Yeah, it is. But again, I mean, 31-27. I mean, 31-24. I mean, it's there. Yeah. So
like, don't be calling out scores that don't hit my spread.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I did quick math in my head to make sure I got it right.
Yeah, I saw you take it down just a little bit.
Yeah. Moving on to the other AFC North rivalry matchup. Steelers at Browns. Browns are 1.5-point favorites at home. The total is 32.5. I guess we need to talk about it, though. Yeah, everybody's been talking about it. Deshaun Watson is out, okay? He's officially out for the season. No more wondering probably forever. No more wondering if he's going to come back this year, when he's going to come back into the game. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? It's his own doing. He's got a cracked shoulder or something like that. He's having surgery on it. He's out for the year. The Browns are starting I'll get his name wrong.
Is it Dorian Thompson?
Dorian Thompson, yeah. I can't remember his first name. I just remember his last two names. So, but they are starting him at quarterback. We've talked about the Steelers. They find ways to win every week, it seems like. So, your thoughts on this game?
I'm gonna roll. I think you said Cleveland's 1.5-point favorite.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take Cleveland. I'm going to go Cleveland money line. I don't think the 1.5 you lose very much to go there. And this seems like it could be a 1-point game, but I like Cleveland money line for the sole purpose of Cleveland is just a different team at home. Their defenses. I mean, it's weird. It's like a switch, but like at home, I think they only give up like 10 or 12 a game or something like that. As opposed to on the road, I think they give up somewhere in the 20s. But the problem is even with Dorian Thompson starting, I'm still not sure the Steelers have a quarterback edge. I mean, I'm done. I haven't been I've been off the Kenny Pickett train since before it even left the station. Like I didn't like the pick for them when they made it a couple years ago. And here we are 9 games of the season this year, and I still don't like the Kenny Pickett pick. His throws seem to rely on his wide receivers to make too many adjustments and great catches for him to be any bit consistent out there. And Cleveland has the better running back. Like you start going through this, I mean, quarterback's a push to me. Running backs favors Cleveland with Ford and Hunt. Wide receiver still favors Cleveland with Amari Cooper. I mean, Cooper's numbers could be just a product of his quarterback's actually able to throw him the ball compared to Deontay Johnson or George Pickens on the Steelers. But, I mean, it just seems like it all favors the Browns when you really start breaking down. I know Watson didn't really move the needle anyway for them. So I'm going Browns money line. What are you feeling on this one?
This one, let me shoot out a stat to you that I did not know was real until I saw it, and still necessarily don't believe it. But I guess it is. I didn't research it much, but I mean, it seems legit enough. 33 qualifying quarterbacks that have played in the league this year. 33. That means 33 quarterbacks that have had over so many attempts. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't know what the qualifying number is, 100 or I don't even know. I'm not even guessing what I know there's a qualifying number, but anyway, 33 qualifying quarterbacks that have qualified this year to be considered in this stat. 32 of them have 5 or more turnovers. The only quarterback that does not is Kenny Pickett. He's got 4. That is an absolutely astonishing stat, and one I wouldn't believe, unless somebody presented that to me, and then I had to, But look at that. That's the guy's had 4 turnovers all year, either fumble or interception. He's taking care of the ball.
It's hard for the corners to pick it off when not even your receivers can get to the ball because he overthrows them out of bounds.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you get that part right. I mean, I don't know how many interceptions he's thrown, but he's not.
I mean,
4 turnovers total.
He's about to make George Pickens quit football. Like
he will. But I got personally, I think with everything going on in Cleveland, I don't think they can win this week, even with that defense. That defense is going to try to, they're at home. They're gonna mount their charge and everything like that. But the Steelers got a defense that's decent enough. They're going to pick off the young quarterback, I think, at least we're going to go 2 times. So, and I'm taking the Steelers money line. I'm also taking the under. 17-10 final score.
Ooh, the under is 32.5.
17-10 is definitely under.
We're taking it. Well, here's my question. If Deshaun Watson was starting this game, would you favor the Browns?
Yes. I mean, the spread would be different. I probably would. I might take the spread with the Steelers. I don't think it'd be because it'd probably be like 5.5. I would say.
No, I don't think this game. I honestly don't think this spread changed. I think
you don't think it would change
without Deshaun Watson. I mean, other than this last game, what has he done all year?
He hasn't, but again, they would favor that over a rookie quarterback starting that hasn't started all year.
Yeah, I mean, I
hear you. I think he's played, but I don't think he started.
So. I think the Browns are used to this. Like, I don't think a quarterback change makes any difference for them.
You remember this game on Monday night, right? Do you remember it vividly? It was garbage. It was the second Monday night game on that night, and it was not good. It was when Chubb tore his knee up. Yeah. So, I mean, and I think pretty sure Pittsburgh won that game too. If I'm mistaken, let me know.
Yeah, they won 26-22.
Yeah, it was an ugly game.
But it was at Pittsburgh.
And it was at Pittsburgh. I know. But
Browns are 4-1 at home.
No offense looked good in that game. Chubb was there for
those offenses don't look good anyway.
quarters.
Like nobody was gonna look good in that game. Like they don't look good normally. They're not gonna look good that game. That was like last week's Bears and Panthers. Like, oh, these offenses look terrible. I'm like, they look the exact same they do every other week.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. I want to see if I can pull up something real quick.
To the
Bears
that
game. Let me get the Browns here, or the Steelers here. Steelers 27, 27, 24, 7, 26, 23, 6, 17, 24, 10, 20, 23. So I guess what I'm saying is that if the Steelers win, they score in double digits. If they lose, they score in single digits or 10. So I think they'll score, like I said. In their losses, the Steelers' losses are to the Texans, the Ravens, the 49ers.
Browns at home defense has given up
and Jaguars.
The Browns at home defense have given up 3, 28 to the loss to the Ravens, 17 to the 49ers, 0 to the Cardinals. So in 3 out of their 5 home games, they've given up 3 or less. In the other 2, they had a bad game against the Ravens. That's fine. But even against the Niners, they give up 17.
So I think we both can agree this game is going under.
Yeah, the under. Yeah.
I think we can agree on that one for sure. And we'll take our both sides, and I'll wear something dog pound or something coming in on next week.
Why do you have so much?
You can have I don't have anything.
I'm sure you don't. You probably got a closet with every NFL team on there.
I do not. I can wear one of those elf shirts, I guess, or what? The Cleveland Brown elf. And you can just get a terrible towel from somewhere. I'm sure somebody's got a yard sale you can get this weekend.
Well, I'm not rooting for the Steelers. You saying that they win, I have to do that?
No. Yeah, if they win, I'll make you wave it around a couple of times. And then you can use it and then you can use it as toilet paper if you want to. So we're gonna move on. No disrespect to any Steelers or Browns fans out there. We know the Browns fans have had a rough go of it, and we know Steelers fans are rough, but we've all got fandom that's.
I'm keeping receipts on this. I'd like the record to show. Go back to week 1. I argued with Randy about the Browns and Bengals. Everybody thought I was wrong. And sure enough, the Browns crushed them. Now, I didn't think they'd crush the Bengals, but I thought they'd win. And here I am stating once again that I think the Browns will win at home.
You did. Absolutely. So I remember that. I got no, we'll talk about it next week. Whatever happens.
Time for the Bears and Lions.
Don't skip that team, that game.
You don't want Lions, Tigers, and Bears?
Don't skip the Giants and Commanders.
Americans should skip that game.
Well,
I can't believe Washington's 8.5-point favorite, but then again, I'm surprised they're not more because it's the Giants.
Well, I got a 9.5-point favorite on FanDuel, if that helps you in any way. 36.5 is the total. You got any thoughts on this game, or you just want to?
I'd just tease that up to 10.5 point plus 10.5 points for the Giants and just call it a day. I don't think the Commanders. I mean, it's so hard to know. It just doesn't seem like a game where I don't think the Commanders can win by that many points, even against the Giants. So yeah, I'd probably just I'd just buy it up a little bit to plus 10.5 Giants. I like Saquon to get a touchdown finally. I mean, hell, he ain't had one since. God, he has only had 2 all year, I think. Since that one bet we made in like week 3, we needed Saquon to get 2 touchdowns and
Russ to
throw for 3. And I mean,
for 3, yeah.
I'm looking here. Barkley's only got 1 touchdown on the ground all year. I don't know how many he's got passing, but
he's got a couple. He's got a couple more. He had a receiving touchdown a few weeks ago, but that was still with Daniel Jones in. So
not Danny DeVito.
Nothing with Danny, no. No, not at all. I think this Commanders team wins this game. Obviously, can they cover 9.5? Yeah, it's at home maybe, but I don't trust the spread on this one.
That's why I like to go 10.5. Double-digit win for the Commanders doesn't seem possible. Like,
yeah, it doesn't. But yeah, and under 36.5 doesn't seem necessarily good either because Commanders like to score points. They also allow the other team to score as well. They don't really hold it down except for against New England. So,
I think everybody's starting to hold it down against New England.
So, I'll just take Commanders money line at minus 430.
Or I'd just stay out at that point.
Yeah, I will probably,
especially with those two teams, because Giants will end up beating them if you do that.
I can't find any place I really want to stake claim at yards or touchdowns or anything like that. Sam Howell, I kind of want to go over whatever Sam Howell's number if it's like over 220, but if it's much higher than that, I'd have to stay away from it.
It's got to be much higher than that. I mean, the guy's averaging 278 a game.
Is that what it is? Okay, well then maybe
he's got 2,700 yards passing on the season.
Dang.
He's having a quietly good year. Like, I know nobody's talking about him, but I mean, he's got nearly 2,800 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks. So he gets a little pick crazy here and there, but he's just like poor man's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
If pump those interception numbers up though.
I'm gonna do one for you in this game just to have something in this game for you. Take the Commanders at minus 2.5 in the first quarter. They'll kick a field goal. Your life will be good. Moving on.
Yeah, Giants won't score.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Giants won't score in the first quarter.
Worst case, they get a touchdown, but the Giants aren't going to score a touchdown. They might get a field goal.
Yeah, so minus 2.5 in the first quarter. I like it. Moving on, Bears and Lions. Lions are 8.5-point favorites. Total is 47.5. It's at Detroit. It looks like it could be more than that, personally. There is a chance of Justin Fields being back. I don't know if that really does.
I don't think that. I mean, I'm going to lock in Detroit on this one, 8.5. That's going to be one of my locks. I mean, I don't – to me, this is a double-digit spread game. Like, I don't know if Vegas is trying to let the win last week for the Bears sway their decisions, but they beat the Panthers, so – dude, somebody had to win. I mean, I guess they could have tied, but
I think the Lions moved because of the potential of Justin Fields being back. But again, I don't think Justin Fields necessarily makes us a better team. I don't think he moves the needle at all. I mean, he had a couple of good games when he came before he left, but
he'd regressed again by the time he got hurt again.
So I'm just like, no, I'm with you. I think you can bump this up to minus 9.5, I wouldn't go necessarily minus 10.5, but minus 9.5 for sure.
Double digits by the weekend.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, it might be. If you want to jump on, you can jump on this a little bit early, get the 8.5. That'd probably be wise because it'll go up a little bit higher. Because it's already getting good money over there at minus 115 for the spread at 8.5. So it's definitely going to go up.
I mean, you look at Dallas at minus 10.5. That's at Charlotte. That's in North Carolina. This game is at Detroit. They should be getting 3 for that. So the fact that they're only favoring the Lions is 5 on a neutral field, essentially. I think you have to go Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Waters called for Monty for 2 touchdowns last week. Instead, Gibbs got 2 touchdowns. Monty only got 1. I don't know if one of these – this two-headed monster is scary now.
It is.
It can absolutely –
It seems like Gibbs is starting to take over, though, touches.
They were about equal on I don't know about touches, but I know about
rushes.
Rush attempts, yeah. They were about equal on that there. Monty had a few more yards because he had his touchdown run was huge. It was like 50 or something yards. But so Monty had over 117, I think it was, and Gibbs had like 77, something like that. But yeah, these two, when they're healthy, oh boy, it's going to be – I'm just coming from a Vikings fan who thinks he still has a shot in the division. It's scary watching them. But I say 3 touchdowns from them 2 combined easily. I don't know which one's going to get 2 and which one's going to get 1, but one of them may get 3. So,
especially considering they have the over/under on this game at 47.5, they're expecting points scored.
Yeah, at least by one side. Let's see if they got total out for the Lions. Total is 28.5. Whew, it's a lot of points, but I think they can make it there. I think they make it in the 30s.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's.
I think though, if you take that, if you go and do that, I think you might as well go ahead and do the total for. Well, no, I can't say that. No, if you take 28.5, the Detroit's total points, then you go ahead and take that spread. Absolutely, you do both.
Yeah,
because if Detroit's scoring over 28.5, they're beating Chicago by more than 8.5. Probably 10.
Yeah, so. I don't think the Bears. I mean, like the Bears will get a couple scores, but I don't. I'm thinking like 17-20.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if we're thinking the Lions are going to score 30 plus, I mean, they'll cover the 8.5.
Yeah. Let us move on to the Buccaneers and 49ers first game in the 4:00 window. San Fran at home minus 11.5. The total is 41.5. Another big spread game.
Seems like a lot.
It does. I mean, I'm looking at it like, 49ers looked good last week against Jacksonville, which is supposed to be really, or it's supposed to be a playoff contending team, but I don't know. I mean, Tampa Bay, they're not great. They're not they're in that same division that hasn't been great for a while. They can still win the division. But that division is no good.
Yeah, I like McCaffrey to get back on track in this game. I think he gets 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I think he gets a receiving and a rushing. He's very familiar with the Buccaneers. Like that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, I mean 11.5 is a lot for me to sit there and take it either which way. I don't think the Bucs are a bad enough team to sit there and say that they'll lose by that many points. But it's certainly capable of happening with the game being in San Fran. So I'd probably stay away from any of that. Over-under wise, I'd probably take the over. I mean, 41.5 is what I'm showing. I mean, this if they really think San Fran's going to score like that, then Bucs probably get a garbage time score to help pad that number. So
yeah, I just saw San Fran's total points. They had them at 26.5.
Yeah, if they got them at that, I mean, surely the Bucs can score 17. Shoot, they'll probably score 30. So
yeah,
Bucs scoring 17 seems real possible.
Yeah, this over looks like it could be for sure.
And the Bucs average about 20 a game, so that'd be about right.
I could see 28-17.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that is you get the over, you miss the line. That's 11.
That's why I told you I don't like the line.
Vegas, you're tricky. You're very tricky on this one.
I would tease it down to like 9.5 if I'm going to take San Fran on the line. Like, like I said, the Bucs are not bad, but they're not good. But they seem solid enough to not lose by double digits like that. I don't know. I'd at least want minus 9.5 San Fran if I'm going to take it.
Anything else on this game?
No, I think I'm good.
Let's go to Seattle at the Rams. Seattle is 1-point favorite on the road. Total is 46.5. We don't know if we have Matthew Stafford or we have Carson Wentz. The spread is really tight for this game. I know it's at LA, but Seattle is a decent team. It has been. You got any thoughts on this game? I have nothing on this game because it's kind of weird because Rams are not in a good position yet. Even whichever quarterback starts. If Stafford starts, yes, they're better, but I still don't necessarily think they can win this game. Do you?
I'm with you. Yeah, I don't. I mean, we're talking about Seahawks are 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Rams are 3-6, and they're actually only 1-3 at home. So home field's not exactly an advantage for them, and especially being both West Coast and division teams. Like Seattle's going to travel pretty good fan wise. Yeah, I'd probably just take Seattle money line here. Just call it a day. Don't get too tricky with the -1 because sure enough, the second you do, it'll be like a 24-23 game. Yeah, I like Seattle to win this game. If Carson Wentz is the quarterback, I'd lock it. I'd lock it in a heartbeat. Like, I think you'd probably see the spread jump 3 or 4 points if they announce Carson Wentz is the starter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only been there 2 weeks or a week and a half. I don't know if he's even been there 2 weeks yet.
He's no Josh Dobbs.
No, he's definitely no Josh Dobbs. So I mean, I like Seattle to win here. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock it because even with Stafford, I think they win. I just don't think it would be by as much.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Seattle by 1 because it's more money. It's a few dollars more actually to take the spread than it is to take the money line for Seattle. I don't know why it's 1, but
because they're gonna snag you up on a like 24-23 win is what's gonna happen.
So I get a push. Okay, so sorry.
That's actually what the point total's angled for.
Yeah,
46.5. 1 point spread. 24-23.
Yep, I can see it.
Yes, so does Vegas.
But it's not happening. Rams are not scoring 23 points in this game. They might score 16.
It would probably take like a Geno Smith, like big turnover on their own field or pick 6 or something for them to get there.
But Sean McVay will screw the spread over if you give him the opportunity.
Yeah, jeez. Tell us you got money on the game without telling us you got money on the game.
Absolutely. Let us move on because this one we need to talk about a little bit. Jets at the Bills. Bills are 7-point favorites. Total is 40. I'll start us off with this. I'm going to look directly in the camera when I tell this to y'all. I said last week some things on here. I was being very uncritical, I guess you can say. I was being very respectful to a team, to a fan base, to a player. Unfortunately, they made me look like a fool. And then after that, they decided to go and get rid of a coordinator, which I am very fond of in my history of sports, and use him as a scapegoat. They are now going to play a defense that absolutely annihilated and demoralized their quarterback in week 1 after their own quarterback went down and the deflation of the whole stadium was gone. Yet, still, one man picked one other gentleman off 3 times in that game. This said gentleman has now been picked off 11 times and 7 times in the last 6 games. His name is Josh Allen, and he will now be throwing another interception in this game, and I will lock it in. Let's carry on. This Bills team is in disarray. They need a bye week fast. They don't get one until next week, I think it is. And they don't know heads nor tails. And Josh Allen doesn't know either end whether he throws left-handed or right-handed anymore. Nor does he know if Stephon Diggs is spelled with 2 G's or 1. Can you shine some light on this game and tell us what we're gonna have, what we should bet on this game, instead of just being impulsive like I am? But I don't think that's necessarily an impulse.
What's the spread you're looking at?
The spread is 7.
Yeah, I like the Jets to cover. It looks like the weather is going to come in. I mean, it looks like it's going to be 50 and rainy, from what I can tell. And
it's slightly windy, about 14-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 25-30.
I think that plays more to the Jets. I mean, they suck regardless, but the Bills' offense is going to struggle more, especially since Allen likes to throw the ball around to anyone. I like the Jets to cover. I know they've already beat them once, so you would think they'd want some revenge, but I'm just not so sure they can push around the Jets defense enough to do it. Like this feels like a 14-10 type affair out there.
It feels like that game against the Giants on Sunday night or whatever it was, or was it Monday night? I don't even know. No, it wasn't a Monday night game, was it? Was it a Sunday night game?
I think
When
so.
the Bills faced the Giants?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just doesn't seem
14-9, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know the over. I would probably take the under in this game. It's at 39.5 right now. Like that seems pretty safe.
Yeah, I got it at 40, and I would definitely take it under. Money's coming on the under, so it's probably going to be down to 39.5 before the weekend gets here.
Yeah.
I might tease it up to 42.5 and then take the under just for clarification's sake, and just to, I don't need too many defensive scores by the Jets.
Yeah.
But
probably the way they score.
Yeah, this. Yeah, this game is just the Bills are. It's rough to watch, to be honest with you. It's rough to have any money in a game like this. I mean, staying away from this game may feel the best. You may just brush your shoulders off and be like, I didn't touch it. It's all good. I can go home and go play Sunday Night Football happily, and not have to worry about where my money's tied up in this game, or anything like that. But I just don't. I mean, I'm sure the line's not out yet for an interception. It's going to be like, it's probably going to be minus something still. It's not definitely not plus money.
He throws one every game.
Yeah, it'll be minus 130, minus 140 probably. 2 weeks ago it was minus 130 when I bet it. I laid 600 on and got a 900 return. I don't know if I won't go that crazy this week with him, but I will because I told y'all I would. I told y'all I would if last week happened the way it did, and it did. So I'm going to, because I'm not going to be a liar like that. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. I told y'all if he threw an interception after I gave him time, I gave him a chance last week to have a get right game. Guess what? There ain't no getting right. It's all up here until he figures this out. He's not going to do anything. So yeah, it's rough.
I'm not sure he's going to figure it out. Like, I know he's like very talented, but something that goes under the radar a lot is I think he's leading the NFL in turnovers since he's joined the league.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is not just a now problem, a this year problem. This has been a problem dating back to earlier in his career. He is, especially coming in playoff time, he's even worse about throwing picks and stuff like that in critical situations. Now, if you get in his head that he's being forced to, like, he's got one ear, he's like, hey, Diggs is like, if you don't start throwing me the ball, I'm out, or you got something else going on. If he's got stuff going on internally and he's thinking to himself, he's like, hey, I got to start throwing the ball, and then he starts forcing it, trying to force it. It's not, he's not seeing ghosts like some people, like some quarterbacks do,
He's not seeing anybody.
He's not seeing his team. He's seeing, he's everything's, I guess they are ghosts because they're invisible to him. The defenders are invisible. He thinks he can just throw to them, and it's just like, oh, they're there. It's bad.
Yeah.
And I think I've said my piece on it. And like I said, everybody knows my stance. Everybody knew my stance going into last week. I gave him a reprieve on a week, which should have been a reprieve. And I'm going to throw a little apology. And actually, I'm going to that next game. I'm going to throw the apology out for one man, but for momentarily anyway. But yeah, that's Buffalo's bad. They need a break. They need a bye, and they need to figure some things out. And they don't figure it out in this game. I don't say they lose this game necessarily, but like you said, I don't think they cover.
I think Jets will cover 7.
Yeah.
Nobody usually beats the Jets by that much.
No, except for the Cowboys.
Usually just hang around and die at the end because they can't get any points.
Yes. There's like, and we're done. We can't do it anymore. We're going to move on, though, to the Sunday night game. Vikings at Broncos. Broncos are 2.5-point favorites at home. Total is 42.5. Weather a little bit tricky there as well. I think it's in the 50s to the 40s with some rain, some wind, at Mile High. I want to give a apology to Vance Joseph You have been a defensive coordinator the last couple of weeks you've played. Your defense has looked pretty well. You're not the guy who led up 70 points to Miami. At least your team's not. At least it's not currently in the current state it's in. If you played Miami again, they would not score 70 on you. I feel firm on that. But this week, you're facing a buzzsaw in the Pastronaut of Josh Dobbs. So, Michael, before I go on my thoughts, you got any thoughts?
I mean, I like Dobbs to win this game too. I mean, I don't know that y'all know who your running back's going to be at this point. I don't know if Madison's going to play at all, but
Ty Chandler's number one.
Huh?
Ty Chandler's our number one.
I mean, honestly, it's probably better than Madison. I've seen enough Madison this year to not like anything going on there.
Yeah,
I've had enough fantasy football teams die because of him. I mean, Denver's -2.5. Yeah, I'll probably take the points here, and I'll take Vikings plus. I'm going to tease up to +3.5. I don't like to get underneath that field goal. I like to be a little bit above it. So I'm going to go Vikings, tease up to +3.5 on this.
I've done this the last 2 weeks in a row, and I'm doing it a third week. I think no. Let me take it back. You'll have to look back at the videos. It might be 4 weeks in a row. Ever since San Francisco, I've taken this Vikings money line. Taking it again. I took it last week. I know for a fact I took it last week. I know for a fact I took it against San Francisco. I may have took the spread a couple weeks ago, but taking Vikings money line this game. I don't think it gets to the over. I think both defenses clamp down. Vance Joseph's, like I said, his defense has gotten better over the last couple of weeks, and Brian Flores' defense for Minnesota. It's if you told me at the beginning of the season, the way we started the season, that my defense was going to be absolutely able to do anything and stop anybody, I'm like, yeah, forget that. I saw last year. I saw the beginning of this year. I know this song and dance. We got to win by scoring more points than everybody else. That's how we have to do it offensively. But I have more faith in this defense after the last month than I've ever had in this defense. This defense is absolutely rock solid right now. It's middle of the pack in every statistical category for the most part, but it seems to be getting better and better, and they have not played their best game yet. The defense has not. So they're going to get after Russ. Russ don't throw the ball down the field much anymore, if at all. What was his – he threw 2 passes beyond 15 yards last week on Monday night, I think it was.
I don't know if his receivers really get open down there. I mean,
well, Judy and Sutton are supposed to be able to fly, but –
yeah, they've been grounded lately, it seems like.
But like I said, and that's where our defense plays best is before you get to the secondary. Our secondary is getting a lot better. They're young, but the linebackers and the front four are core right there. This game will go under. Minnesota will win 20-10 final score.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Any other thoughts on that game?
No, I don't. Okay. I think probably like a Hawkinson touchdown. He seems most reliable for something like this. But hell, he seems a little banged up right now too.
I mean, when you catch the ball 11 times for 100 and whatever yards he caught last week, you're going to be banged up a little bit.
Sure.
Monday night rematch. Game of the week. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Eagles at Chiefs. Both teams coming off a bye, correct?
Yep.
So this is huge. This is a big game. Chiefs are at home at Arrowhead, -2.5. Total is 45.5. Michael, you start us off. What you got on this game?
I'm going to go – man, this is tough. I'm going to go Chiefs money line. Man, I feel like there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game, though. Like, I like the over in this game. I mean, it's 45.5. This feels like one that could just – 30-27, 30-24, something like that. Like
Super Bowl was 38-35, right?
I think so, yeah. There's a lot of scoring in that. And these teams aren't very much different from that. Like, the more I think about it, I don't know that I necessarily feel great picking a winner. But Like I started thinking, I was like, I don't know, man. The Eagles are coming off a bye week too. Like they just seem on paper and what I've seen, the Eagles appear to be the better team, but it is at Kansas City. I would probably just go with the over and stay out of picking a winner in this game. But I think you could put together a pretty decent little touchdown parlay from this game.
Well, yeah and no, because you don't know who's going to score touchdowns on Kansas City.
Put Kelsey in there. He's overdue.
I mean, you can go Kelsey and Hurst and feel 80% confident that it's going to happen, but again, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably go Kelsey, Brown, and Hurts.
And yeah, you're right about AJ Brown. He's a man on a different world right now, a different planet. He is catching everything. I think he's got how many games over 100 yards now receiving in a row?
He had like 4 or 5 with like over 150.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
he's already got 1,000 yards on the season.
He's absolutely a monster right now, and there's nobody in that secondary that can cover AJ Brown. And if you do have somebody to cover him, guess what? Who you're not covering? Devontae Smith.
This does kind of seem like a game where Devontae Smith gets some yards. Like he's been a little quiet lately.
You also might see a little bit more of Swift in the passing game just because of the lack of Goddard. You'll have the backup tight ends now because of him being out. You might see some Zacchaeus, perhaps, but I think you stay with the 2, and then you have Swift, and then your running is going to probably be a lot from Gainwell on the Kansas City side.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Swift's going to run it, but Swift's going to be also more passing in the passing attack. I think too. I think Swift's going to be more of a McKinnon come Monday night, in my opinion. So Chiefs, they got their usual weapons, and by usual weapons, they don't really have any weapons. They're still struggling on that. So I don't know. I mean the line says 2.5 because they're at home, but I think the Eagles are a better team. I believe the Eagles are a better team. If I had to lay money down on a winner, I would lay it down on the Eagles right now.
I just hate against her.
I'm like you.
Especially off a bye week. I'd have to go look, but for some reason I want to say they win off the bye week very frequently under Andy Reid. Like I can't remember what their record is, but I want to say it's something ridiculous where they're like 10-2 or something like that, 10-1 on the bye week with Andy Reid.
We also know Kelsey will have a big game with who in the building. So
double his stats.
Dumbledore will be in the building, and
yeah,
or Voldemort, I should say. Yeah, will be in the building, and that's gonna happen. Yeah, he'll double whatever his production was. So if he's over like 80 yards, take him for that. Take him anything over 80, I would.
They showed like games she's at. He's like double his stats.
Take him anything over 80. Take him anything over 6.5 receptions. I'll give you that right now.
It'd be funny. She's like a late scratch from going to the game. You just see his numbers. Yeah. Oh, no, I gotta get you under now.
Okay, well, now we got that settled. It's time to do our picks of the week, our locks of the week, presented by the letter O, as in it's only Michael.
Or, oh my God, we don't have any sponsors yet.
Yeah, we still don't have any sponsors. Let's do like the Count does on Sesame Street and sponsored by letters.
Well, shoot. If that's, do you have any locks for games, or should I just tell
you? We're gonna go back and forth on. We're gonna ping pong back and forth. So, you got anything in Bengals and Ravens?
No. I don't like the Thursday game. The Thursday games always seem weird. Like I think it's going to be a great game.
I said I want to have fun with this game and enjoy it. Yeah. And by saying enjoy it, I'm going to be at work tomorrow, so I'll still enjoy it. But I don't want to have anything crazy on this. But like I said, if you do have your no sweat bet, and if you're in a state that is legal to bet FanDuel in, go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and do it. There's no reason not to. I just don't think I want to drive up tomorrow to Tennessee personally and put my bet on this game. I think I want to enjoy it. Moving on Sunday, Chargers, Packers.
Nope. Not a game I want to be part of.
No, neither of these teams.
Yeah, they don't even want to be there.
No. Titans, Jaguars.
No.
Give me Travis Etienne 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Lock it in. Lock it in. Raiders, Dolphins.
No, I think the whole dynamic with a new head coach really changes what the Raiders could and are be. I don't know. Could be, are currently. So I'm going to stay out of that.
Lock in the Raiders at plus 14.5. I'm going to tease it up a little bit just to feel safe. I believe in them, but just to feel safe. Plus 14.5 Raiders. Cowboys, Panthers.
I'm locking Dallas at minus 10.5. I think it'll probably be like 13.5 by the time it gets to the weekend, but I'm going to go ahead and take them 10.5. Like, we've not proven anything to stay with any team that has any sort of pulse on offense, and Dallas has a pretty decent offense. So yeah, lock me down for Dallas minus 10.5.
You can give them at 20.5 for plus 280.
Yeah, I don't want to lock that. That could be like you can play it on your own accord, but
you're right. I want to lock that.
I'm trying to get my picks right here after our poor showing last week. So like I'm trying to get.
I want to lock in
that 1 week Dallas money line.
Yeah, exactly. I want to lock in minus 10.5 or 20.5, but I want to do like Michael minus 10.5. But if you want to tier it up every level, that can get you some money there too. Moving on to what's the next game on the docket? I gotta get out of there. Cardinals, Texans.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Texans minus 4.5. I don't know what the spread is right now, but I feel better at minus 4.5. I think it's at 5.
No, it's at minus 4.5.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Texas minus 4.5. They're just playing good football, man. Like. The Cardinals beat the Falcons last week. That was great and everything, but the Texans actually have an offense. So
lock in the total at over 48.5. Steelers, Browns.
Man, I'm gonna lock Browns money line. Like I know you feel the Steelers, but I'm going Browns money line. They're good at home. This losing to Deshaun Watson doesn't really change anything for them.
I'm going to lock the Steelers money line. I'm also going to lock in the under, but I'm going to tease it for parlay purposes. Give me just a second. I want to secure this parlay is what I want to do.
What do you
go? We're going to go under 36.5. There we go. Okay. Giants, Commanders.
Nope.
Yeah, we're not touching that one. Bears, Lions.
I'm not gonna. Man, I just don't want to lock too many. Honestly, yeah, give me Detroit minus what is it, 8.5?
Yes.
Give me Detroit minus 8.5. Like it. I don't see how this game's close.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm gonna lock in for Ben Aiden Hutchinson 2 sacks.
Have we even looked to see if Aiden Hutchinson's had 2 sacks in a game all year?
No, since Ben has called this, he hasn't had 1 sack. I don't think.
The best part would be you calling this and then them.
So Aiden Hutchinson 2 sacks. That's the lock in. Okay. Buccaneers, 49ers.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, this game just screams, something weird, and I don't like it necessarily. I mean, yeah, Vegas has it there, and it just, I don't know.
Yes.
Seahawks, Rams.
No, I'm good. I think I'm good on locks. My 4 that I gave you, I feel good about. I'm gonna get too in depth further down here and get myself in trouble.
I'm gonna lock in Seattle at -1.
I don't know. I think it's a good pick. I
Jets.
feel real good about my 4.
Jets, Bills.
No, but I will say I don't have any locks, but I do like the Jets to cover. We'll say that.
Yeah,
that's like a partial lock.
We'll say that, but my lock, and y'all already know, I can't put in a parlay because it wasn't the A doesn't allow you to, or not on FanDuel anyway, in my own DraftKings or something like that. But it's not up yet. The spread for it isn't. My lock for the rest of this year, Josh Allen interception. Vikings, Broncos.
No, I'm good.
Locking in Minnesota money line. Eagles, Chiefs.
No, I'm gonna stay out of that. I do like the over, but I'm gonna stay out of it. Somehow I feel like we've locked more games with two of us than we do with 4 or 5 of us.
I mean, the parlay's still going to be 3 no matter what. So,
yeah.
But it's just, you just don't want to have her come back to this video next week and be like, look at all the games you lost.
I actually feel like this is a good week to get a gauge on, though. Like, I don't know. I feel better about this week than I have in weeks past.
I do like the over on the Eagles-Chiefs game. Tease it down to 42.5. Take it over. And that's that. With all those bets in, 3-leg parlay, Dallas minus 10.5. The under on the what was it game? The
Is that the one where you changed with Cleveland and
the Cleveland Steelers game under 36.5 alternate total, and Seattle at -1. That 3-leg parlay is plus 458. Looks simple to me. Feels good. We have no compass here today for Randy to tell us if you should bet it or not. So go have fun with it. See what happens. Any final thoughts, Michael, before we head out for everybody?
No, I think this will be a good week of football. I mean, it looks like they've got at least a couple of decent games in every slate. You know, the Thursday night game's actually good for a change. The Monday night game is good.
Sunday night game's good.
Yeah, I was like, even with Vikings and Broncos, it's not like – I mean, it's two teams still in playoff contention. Like, not like last week where it was two teams fighting to see which Bears pick was going to be the first pick, the Panthers-Bears pick or the Bears-Bears pick.
That is correct. That is correct. Well, everybody, we hope if we don't see you next week, which we will sometime next weekend, we don't know if it's going to be live or what, but if we don't see you next week or we don't hear from you, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Enjoy the football this weekend, and we'll see you soon. See you.
Yeah, have a good one.